What's up, guys? My name is Raz, Christopher Avery. You can call me Raz, you can call me Chris, it doesn't matter. I'm going to respond to you. Guys, listen. We've been putting in that work. We're in week 7, okay? We're in week 7, episode 7. We've talked about a lot of things, okay? Builder's Journal. It's my mind and my heart on display. It's what I've written in my journal. It's my process. It's just a lot of different things being recorded now. And so I want to help people. And today I'm going to help you through the days that are inevitable. Okay? I'm not speaking a word curse over you, but there are days that you're going to want to quit. All right? That's what we're going to talk about today. It is a very interesting topic because it's like, why would there be days where I want to quit when I'm doing exactly what God has called me to do? Look, no one talks about the days where it feels like you're going through the last 12 hours of Jesus' life, okay? Um, there are days where you are just completely done. You're ready to throw in the towel. You're ready to just end it all, right? Now, I'm not talking about ending life, but just like stopping what you're doing. And in previous seasons, I know I've just stopped and thrown it away. I remember creating when I say an entire um, e-course on how to learn how to play the piano. It was the easy step-by-step where you was going to be able to look and watch and learn at your own pace. You was going to be able to talk to me, schedule classes and things like that. I had it all mapped out. And I posted about it. And nobody jumped at it. And because of that, I was like, I'm done. I quit. And I stopped. I remember I literally, don't hate me, y'all. I literally deleted the entire program. Guys, I'm talking about weeks, months of work, hours, sweat, money spent on coffee to try to get this thing done. And I quit because things didn't turn out how I thought it would, right? I thought my friends and my family was going to come through. I thought, everyone was going to be like, oh yeah, this is lit. This is exactly what I was looking for. I did not see that on the first day, and I was like, it's a wrap. I'm done. Guys, we cannot do that. Let me tell you what happens when you quit. When you quit, you forfeit everything that God had planned for you, right? You forfeit the chance to help people learn the piano, right? There are people out there that are called to play the piano and hear and bring down the sound of heaven. And God wanted to use me to teach what I know about being a minstrel and impart that into other people. And I quit. I can't help those people. I can, but not in the way that God wanted me to a few years ago, right? I forfeit what God wants to do. I forfeit from ever seeing the manifestation of promises of God, right? And I just end up in a season where I just wanted to find stability. I got into works, right? I wanted to be successful, but at the expense of looking like a fool, I wasn't doing that. And sometimes that causes you to want to quit. You know what I'm saying? Like, my target audience is not my friends or family. And I had to learn that. I had to realize that. My target audience is not my friends and family, right? I'm one of the only ones in my family who knows how to play the piano. I think it's me and my grandma. We're the only ones who know how to play the piano. So why am I expecting them to buy my piano course, right? I have musician friends, but like they already know how to play the piano. Why do they need to buy it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like it was unrealistic expectations that would make you want to quit. Depending on your friends and family will make you want to quit. When all the highs, I remember being at the coffee shop grand opening, November 2nd, is when I ended my soft launch and I started actually doing it. I remember, I remember like it was yesterday. Everybody came out to support me. I had people coming from Austin, Texas. I had people coming from Arlington, and that's about an hour from my coffee shop, Arlington. Austin is about 4 hours away. Right, I had people coming from all over. I had so much support. I had a great support system. The next day, some people still were coming. The next day, it just started getting smaller and smaller and smaller until the next week when I was sitting at my coffee shop with nobody coming in a 12-hour shift for 3 straight days. Talk about wanting to quit. Talk about, like, God, you called me to this. Where everybody at? Oh, you thought this was going to be a cakewalk? And it reminded me so much of Joshua. Like, um, the Israelites, when Moses had passed away and they were right there at the promised land. The promised land was not handed to them, okay? They had to go in and conquer the land. They had to go in and win every single war and be obedient to God, right? Joshua, he had to be obedient to the T. He said, as long as you listen to me, as long as you obey me, you will never lose, right? And the moment he did disobey, they lost. And then he got it together and then they won. But you cannot go in expecting that what God has shown you is just going to be waiting for you. It is. But after you put in the work, right? They have to go conquer the land. So whatever God is asking you to do, whatever he's asking you to build, you're going to have to go out and do the work. I have to go market, right? God will do the word of mouth, but I have to market. I have to be here making coffees and lattes. I have to be the one to be opening up the shop and closing the shop, cleaning the shop, teaching my employees. I'm the one who has to start writing manuals and handbooks for employees, recipe books. I'm the one who's having to do all of that, right? I have to put in the work. I'm here long hours. Um, not even receiving a paycheck. I have to put in that work so that I can see the promises of God. I know for a fact that God is going to come through on his word. He's not a man that should lie. I have whole, complete faith in him, right? There were some times, though, where I did think that today was going to be the day where he lied. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm so serious, right? Days where I felt like I wasn't going to be able to pay my rent. Well, utilities for the coffee shop. Days where I didn't feel like I was going to be able to have enough for payroll. But hindsight, God always made a way. He always made a way for me to be able to pay the utilities, to be able to pay my employees. He always made a way for me to be successful, even though it's not the way that it looks. Even though it's not the way that I thought it would look, God has always came through for me. And so I want to tell you, even though it's not the way that you thought it was going to be, God will always come through for you, especially if he's called you to this thing. God's will, God's bill. I don't care. It's not in the Bible. It is just something that I've always heard my mom say. If it is in God's will for you to start this coffee shop and he's told you, then guess what? It's going to be his bill. I have a student. He is a musician. He's a drummer. And God told him to go full-time ministry, but you need to stay in school and get your degree. And so he went full-time ministry. He doesn't have a job. He hasn't worked since February, and he has been literally doing the necessary work. He's been in the shop, playing the drums every single day, perfecting his craft, doing what he's supposed to do day in and day out. And guess what? God is paying his bills. God is sending him places. He's getting gigs. He's getting booked, right? He's getting a lot of attention right now. There were some days that he went to quit. I remember the days that he came to me and was just like, I don't feel like I can do this. This is weird. Like, I remember the days, right? Everyone's going to have them, but I'm here to tell you, you have to keep going. You have to stay strong in this. You have to remember why you're doing this in the first place. If you're not doing this to bring God the glory, if you're not doing this because you have a heart for it, you're going to quit. Okay? The thing that helped me not quit is because I remembered the why. I remember why God called me to do a thing. The reason I haven't quit being a pastor is because I remember my why. I know that I'm supposed to bring the heart of God on the campus because I remember being on the campus and not being able to feel the heart of God. I remember feeling like I was lonely on the college campus, right? I remember my why, so I have not quit, and I'm not going to quit. The reason I have this coffee shop, yes, God told me He wants to get the glory out of this coffee shop, but also because I remember not having anyone be there for me when it came to schoolwork and not having a safe place to go to just ease my mind and just find rest and peace, right? And I also know that coffee shops have helped me um, get 2 degrees and put out albums and things because I'm a music producer, right? Coffee shops help me do that. I have a why on why I want to do this, so I did not quit, and I'm seeing the fruit of it. Even though today is a very slow day, guess what? I'm seeing the fruit because now I'm writing more than I ever have. I'm about to come out with like 4 books this year around the same time too. Um, I'm doing a lot of content. I wasn't a content person before, but I'm doing more content now. And guess what? Because I didn't quit, God is showing me through all the adversity more ways that He is wanting to use me. And of course, this is not about the money, but He has shown me through the content, through the books, through the writing, um, the music, more streams of income, all because I didn't quit, right? I'm using this space right now to record content. Even though it's slow, guess what? I have time to record now. It's slow, guess what? I have time to write a book now, right? Don't quit, okay? You're going to want to, but don't. Remember your why, and remember that God is for you. And if He is for you, then who can be against you? I love y'all. I'll see y'all in episode 8.